Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we are picking up the series on the 2nd of August 1980, and that's a couple of months on from the end of the last video. And during that period, what I did is I spent some time sorting out the supply system here with respect to oil. So what that's actually done is added a little bit of a reduction in stress to this area here. You can see that the fuel tank in Portsmouth now is actually starting to build up, simply because I'm no longer drawing major fuel demands for this area up here from Portsmouth. That demand is now being supplied from the oil refinery here. You can see that this has got quite a strong surplus as well. So hopefully Portsmouth and Gosport will no longer suffer from fuel shortages, and that opens up the door towards shutting down the oil refinery up here. So this oil refinery has got a little bit of fuel in it as well. Now, before we go on, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys, as usual, give me so much to think about, and that's what I really appreciate, because even when you just ask questions, it makes me take a deeper dive into different mechanics and think about them in different ways. Now, one question I did get was about a substation up here and in Winchester, and I think it's this one here. Yeah, you can see it's got a total wattage of all connections of buildings of 269%. And it's also got an estimated maximum consumption of 192%. And it says, considered if buildings are connected to multiple stations. What's actually here is that, yes, this substation appears to be overloaded. But if you actually look at the actual kind of power draw on that, you can see it's running at about 0.6 at the moment, which is well below the line, because this has got a heavy duty line in here. If I show you here, and you can see this has got as a wattage of 2.35 megawatts. So at the moment I don't think this is particularly that overloaded, although you can see the kilowatt is right out on the maximum. And part of the reason for that is I've got a so if I show you here, you can see that this substation is supplying the whole of the center of the town. But what I've also got over here is another substation which is supplying power to one sector of the Winchester. And I've got another one over here which is supplying into this area. And this substation, if you see, is only 43%. And I think this one is 49%. There's also another one substation in here, where if I can find it, there it is there. You can see this is 36%, and this is actually supplying power to this. So there's actually an overlap between this one and this one. And eventually what I will probably do is put in another substation here as Winchester expands this way. So in some ways, although this looks like it's absolutely in a serious condition, it's not as bad as it looks. And one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing the new power overlay and seeing how that interprets this situation. Anyway, so in some way, so at the moment I'm quite relaxed with the situation here. I'm just going to take a look. Yeah, we've got a few over 21s. Now the next question I got was related to meat, because if you look into my shops up here, you'll see that there's absolutely, I'm not selling any meat, and it says here there are some items not being supplied. That's electronics and meat. And if I'm completely honest, I take a fairly relaxed attitude towards meat and electronics, because the two key resources, if you kind of click on here, is food and clothes. And as long as there's good strong supply food and clothes, generally you don't really have to worry about meat and electronics. And but meat does have an effect on health. If I show you, I can find it there. If I click on health, you'll see that the health in Expansion City here is 90% or 92%. And if I come over to Winchester, which has got no health at all, you can see this is marginally lower. But you're only talking 2-3%, although there's a fairly low 87% here. And what that tends to do, if you come into here, you'll see that the lifespan is only 84.76 years. I think if we go to Gosport, you will see here that again the health is really strong, and you'll see that the average lifespan is still roughly the same. What I tend to do is even when I'm supplying meat like I am at the moment, I take a kind of fairly casual attitude towards it, and as long as there's some kind of a regular supply getting into a town, I'm quite happy with that. And then later on, once the economy gets a bit stronger, and I'm kind of thinking over here to get a farm that will produce some meat production for Petrograd and Winchester and the expansion that way. But I don't worry too much about it, is probably the polite way of saying it. And that also applies to electronics, because again, it's quite interesting. If I come up to here, now this shop here has never sold electronics, but if I show you in here, you'll see some of the residents have got electronics. And what I do wonder is whether some of the residents actually bring the electronics with them when they actually move, because of course Winchester at the moment is fully populated with people who are over 21. So that is something that needs to be considered. And I think if I come down again into Gosport here, you'll probably find that, see, even again, even though I'm supplying electronics to this area, you're not getting the sheer number of electronics as what to expect. I mean, you've got 4 in this building, and in fact this suburb, but you can see across the whole of the economy, I've got 1,165 radios and 56 televisions. I'm not exactly sure why people with computers, that could be a time span. So again, the electronics, these are things which are nice to have, but compared to ensuring that your residents have got heating, which is, to me, is the #1 problem, and then of course you've got food, and then below that you've got clothes as well. I mean, clothes is important, but quite often you can get away with even a slightly shaky supply of clothes, as long as the gaps aren't too big. And when I mean gaps, I'm talking about if a town runs out of clothes for, say, a couple of months, you can still get away with it. You take a happiness hit, but it won't be major. And of course, returning back to health, the one thing I tend to do is I always run a dry economy, because alcohol, if I show you up here, you see alcohol here, this is actually called alcohol addiction. So if you've got a really high alcohol addiction, that what that does is it reduces health, and it also reduces lifespan and productivity. So I must admit, I do tend to kind of run a dry economy, and then later on I may add alcohol. And to be honest, the way I tend to add alcohol is in the form of restaurants, not restaurants, bars now, rather than putting it in the shops. Because if you build a bar, what happens is your residents will go to that bar. So to me, I don't really see any reason to supply alcohol to a shop. I mean, I know some of you guys will have a different opinion, but that's the way it is. Now, I've gone on a little bit longer than I intended, but I just want to touch on one other thing. Somebody asked me about tourism. And of course, with tourism, you actually pick up your tourists from the customs posts here. But remember that the bus here, like this tourist bus here, has to actually pick up from the customs post. There's no point putting a bus station right there. Oh, what we got going on here? We got a problem here with the signals. Let me just delete that. Ignore that. Get that train out of the way. I think what's happened is these guys have come through this section here. Yep. Wow, that was a bit of a main failure, wasn't it? Yeah, I've got a potential problem here. We'll have a look at that in a minute. I'll just finish talking about tourism. But what you can do is, like the example I've got here, you actually watch here. We've got a tourist boat coming in. He's got 40 tourists on. We'll just speed up a little bit. So, and what you'll see is, oh, the bus has just left. Ha. He's got 73 tourists on. And that bus was just happened to be there picking up as that happened. But what you'll see is you will never get tourists leaving here and going to here. So there we are. So we just picked up a tourist there. So you can extend the distance by using ships. That also applies to airports. But the key factor you need to remember is to make sure that you pick up from the port and the airport, not rely on a bus platform like that, because it just won't work. Now, what the person was actually asking is whether it's possible to extend a bus route. Now, there is a way you can do this, because generally passengers will travel on a bus for 12 hours. or before they kind of give up and leave. And that also applies to trains. What you can do is you can create a bus station where the passengers get off, and then what you do is you set it to they go to a second bus station where they get on, and that can cause a reset. But to be honest, it's not a strategy I would like to rely on. I know some players do go for it, but I mean, if you're going to move people a long way, you should be really using trains or aircraft rather than buses. And to me, having to chain a bus line to get workers to a certain area is probably accepting that you've got something wrong. Anyway, let's just get down to what caused this problem here. Let me just see. So we got that line there. I think what I've got here is I need to put that mix signal back in. Is it? See, he's come that way. But so if this guy can come here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that signal out. So what should happen is you shouldn't enter there until they go there. But I think what part of the problem is I probably need to, I can't put a semaphore there, is I think what I really need to do is probably put a signal there and a signal there. So, yeah, because I think what's happening is that this guy came here and these were appeared to be on the same track. I don't think there's a crossover here. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. That might account for why things have been moving a little bit slow here. Yeah, I've had a bit of a kind of a problem in this area. Hopefully it might improve a little bit now. We'll just keep an eye on that. You can see I've still got a queue of people here. Let's just have a look here. We've got 165 over 21s. And again, this also comes back to health. That if you've got loads and loads of over 21s coming in all the time, and you don't really need to worry too much about kind of putting the population in. I think I will move those over 21s. Yeah, we got a few building up here. Was it 165? I think what we'll do is we'll hook some out of here and put them into Petrograd. And we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. And maybe we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. And then we'll pick up some. That should kind of assume those over 21s. We've got no over 21s in Gosport at the moment. Means we've got probably, looks like most of the over 21s are actually in Portsmouth. Just we'll just pull out some over 21s from there. Of course, the problem is that as fast as you're moving them out, the next generation is moving in and having children. So you can see here, I think we're just going to pull out some more. Oops, I'm just going to slow the game down. I don't want the game to run too fast at the moment, because once your economy starts to get to a certain size, running at high speed can be quite risky, because what can happen is that your population can start to run away with you. 2, 3, 4. I think I'll probably put some more up in Winchester. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I think if I'm getting escapees, this is the area where there are. I mean, so you're still getting escapees here. And I think some of this is down to the fact that people are generally a little bit unhappy. Oh no, I do have an education problem up here as well, and I think we got no, it's not university, it's schools. Yeah, so we've got a bit of an education problem here. This is why I'm building the school there. Let's have a look here. Food-wise, we're okay. Let's have a look at my meat production. Talking about it. Yeah, I mean, I could kind of We've got Gosport Hotel supplies, meat supplies, expansion meat supplies. I mean, I could add... Where are you going? You're delivering to expansion corner market. I mean, I could add a little bit of flavour to this area. We'll just kind of go up here. And there's always put meat on 90%. And actually what we probably could do is... Where are you? Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've really got that much of a problem here. I don't know, do I have meat in here? Transport meat supplies. Yeah, 90%. But this is kind of going out, sending the meat out here. I really do need to increase the meat production here. But of course, one of the problems with livestock farms is that they're a little bit unbalanced. Because if you see here, we get kind of 10 crops produces 6 tons of livestock. But if you look at one of these, I mean, well, you need 2 tons of livestock to get 1 ton of meat. And you can see here, really and truthfully, you could supply a massive map with just 1 livestock farm. That's why this is really in the wrong place. And eventually what I would like to do is replace this with a meat production area where we've got a livestock or slaughterhouse, which is then kind of being fed by lots and lots of livestock farms. I mean, technically, truthfully, you probably couldn't get enough livestock farms connected. So what you may need to do is effectively have groups of livestock farms, which are then the livestock is then transported to the slaughterhouse. Maybe that's something to look at. Oops, we got a fire. Where's that? Got. Oh, I think. Here comes the fire crew, taking a slightly leisurely pace, but okay, just speed it up a bit. Wait, fire crew, where are you? There you are. I think they were stuck behind the bus there. Now my aluminium production is slowly creeping towards getting to a reasonable production, and I've now got a warehouse here which you can see is set to be able to take 100% chemicals, but it's got no power supply at the moment. We've got the output here built, and we're going to set this to totally aluminium, and we'll just put in, I don't want anything else in there at all. And of course eventually we will have this built, which will then allow us to ship out the aluminium to somewhere. Over here things are just moving forward. If I can get this built, then I can finish the roads down to the border over here. And of course we've got this really long road here which is, I'm not sure if this is actually being built now. No, it's probably got, oh no, we're still building this one here. Oops, looks like we've actually got a what we call it here. Oh, this is a vehicle depot if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's good. What I want is, oh well, you. I'll send you down to there, and we'll buy a bulldozer. Nice cheap bulldozer. I'll just pop you in there. And the reason I built this is so that I can start planning this town here, but that won't be in this part because this is going to probably require a certain amount of leveling. Let's have a look here. Yeah, you can see this isn't exactly the flattest area. And what I'm thinking is to have the kind of town in this area here. Then we probably have to flatten off a plateau there. So we're going to have to come up here. Turn this off again. And then so we'll have the town here where we've got a coal mines here which we can then bring onto line. We've got iron over there. So what we're probably thinking is quite a major town in this area with some possibly 1 or 2 steelworks here. I mean, I really want to make this into quite a large industrial area, but probably in this corner here. And of course, what we've also got over the back is more steel. In fact, what I could do is make this into a steel area as well. Maybe this could be the steel area. I need to think about it, because the other thing I do want up here is an airport, because we've got the aluminium plant over there. I don't know where is my... We've got the aluminium there. So again, one thing I would like to do is be able to bring aluminium over by train. So maybe we'll make the steel manufacture here, because we got enough room to build a town here, possibly even squeeze in a farm. Although we got space for a farm on this side of the road. Then maybe we'll have the steel over there with the rail connections, because eventually I'll push this rail line through. I don't know. And then we'll get, maybe I could get the airport in here. Maybe the airport might be better here actually, but it's a bit close to the border, so it seems a bit pointless. Anyway, that is not going to be the subject of this video, because I still want to concentrate on looking at Petrograd here, because what I'm trying to do, I know some of you may think I'm stalling a little bit, which in some degrees I am, because what I want to do is let some of my construction catch up. In fact, talking about that, let's just, and the main one is rail. The rail is kind of giving me a little bit of a problem. Right, we've now got a brickworks here, and we've got workers in here, and we got coal in here as well. Wow. Okay, the game sneaked up on me, so we've now got a brickworks. Okay, thank you, game. Bricks. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick the bricks up from there. And I don't think are you using bricks? Yes, you are. Okay, so we now can get the bricks there. I mean, I really need to get Gravelton built as well. But well, we're getting food coming into here now. And we've got no power supply at the moment, so that's still very much an ongoing process. I think what I will do is allocate you brickworks as well, because a lot of what you're building is in this direction. You can pick up there. Oh no! I made a mistake. You there. You there. Right, the next thing I want to do is get into here, and I think it's Havant Construction Distribution. You're picking up boards and prefabs. Okay, where's the bricks coming from? Gravelton, get materials. Okay, this is it here. We're going to remove Gosport bricks out. I'll leave this here just in case anyone's actually doing a delivery of bricks. So that now reduces this area down to boards. Where are you picking boards up from? Where are you? Okay, you're there. We've got a lot of vehicles sat around doing nothing now. I'm not sure why, but why are you not picking up boards from here? I think there's something went a bit wrong there. You should be picking up boards from there and delivering them to there. Let's see, what are you delivering then? Okay, we've got Havant Distribution. I think we can take off bricks from here as well, and that means we can remove you. That means all that's being brought up to here now is... Oh, we don't need prefabs either. We can take the prefabs off as well. Gravelton cement silo. And you're actually... Oh, you're just exporting. So we don't need you as well. That reduces this down to just bringing steel up. I probably need to look at these distribution offices a little bit. Now, we do have a pickup point here. Who is bringing this up? Gosport distribution office. I think in the short term, we're just going to leave this alone for the moment. Because I think Hellas is quite happily picking up from here at the moment. Let's have a look here and see what you've got. Yeah. Of course, it's good old steel. Now is expansion construction city. Again, this is increasingly building over in that direction, so I think what we will do... Yeah, you're already drawing from Gravelton. So if I put you on there for the bricks as well, we rename you to Gravelton Brick. Not Vic, Brick. Pick up. And of course, eventually, what would do, and this is really pushing out the bricks. Now I've got a supply line here. And what we got? South Sea Medium Distribution Office. Yeah, bringing bricks in from Gosport. I think for the moment we're just going to leave you with that line. I know you're coming in a long way, but I think it'd be okay. These guys are quite happily doing things. What have you got here? Have you got any shortages? You just got not that much to do. Wow. I mean, they're quite literally throwing that building up. And I've got a pollution monitor here. I think we're okay for pollution at the moment. I think Petrograd is starting to get pretty close to a good supply of workers. I mean, what's the population there? Just coming up to 40,000, so we're not too bad. We got 342. I think the way the population is growing, I might have to put some bromide in their tea just to slow them up a little bit, because I mean, they are literally pushing me out of house and home. Right, we've got. I don't want another bulk carrier. We're gonna have to cancel this, aren't we? I don't want a hopper ship. Sorry, we're gonna have to cancel production. What I want is a oil tanker. And what we're going to do is set you up for a new stop here. And beyond the borders, you're going to load coal. And then you're going to unload coal here. Okay. Because what I really need to do is get more of these ships in. So that would give me 3 coal ships coming in for 2 iron ships, and we are still getting some kind of ad hoc coal delivery here. And I think we're starting at long last to get a bit of an edge on that area there. So overall things are going okay. And actually, while we're here, let's have a look at the templates. What do I want to build in the way of cargo ships? I mean, I wouldn't mind something that's about 14 million. Okay, we're gonna have to earn some serious money to pay for these ships, aren't we? I mean, we've got a small general cargo ship here that could be quite useful. I think we're not going to worry too much about getting more ships in. What I would like is a second oil tanker to bring the oil into here. As you can see at the moment, the one tanker isn't really cutting it. See, we can get more than enough fuel here. We got, what, 400 tons in each one of these tanks. We've got 300 and odd tons of bitumen. Actually, did that... Where's that tanker gone? This is the tanker, isn't it? Yep, you can see what I'm also doing is exporting quite a lot of bitumen at the moment as well. So that should start to improve my income. We'll slow that up. And let me just take a look at my economy. Yeah, I mean, we're losing money on the dollars because we probably just bought some stuff. Yeah, so we're kind of starting to get a little bit of bitumen now. So again, bitumen is now kind of working with electronics to build my economy. Is good. The loan we're down to 1 now, so we only owe 41,000. So we've nearly paid off the loan. So we're looking good from that perspective. Here, I mean, I'm quite happy with the crop farming situation here. I think the farms in this area are now starting to get equilibrium with the demands for food here. We've still got an issue of supplying crops to down here for the chemical plant and the fabric factory, but I think we're still getting a reasonable amount of surplus of clothes coming out of here. Oops, no, okay. You guys, you're producing fabric. I think they're quite happily trolling along. Now, this construction office is effectively run out of work now. I've already got rid of the road office here, and I think you'll probably find that Haven Destruction is out of work as well, and also these guys, because they're really getting a bit too far away from where I want to go. So, but I want to leave Haven and these two here to cover emergencies, but I do need to move this one out. But where am I going to put it? I think maybe we got this construction office here. I know we got a few more buildings to fill in here, including up here. Oh, we're getting very close to a farm here. Oh, one problem I do have here is I need to get a fire station. That fire station built. How's it going? So I realised that this doesn't have any fire coverage, so that's an issue. Looks like I'm gonna have to start thinking very seriously about my new town. I didn't realise that was quite the situation that's got here. Now, I've got this farm here. I suppose you guys are waiting for the crops to come in. Where's this? Oh, that's okay. Well, we've got no problems there. So we're gonna have to move some over 21s again. This is getting boring. Okay, let me just see. Okay, let's just get into here. I'll pull some out of here. Like Gospel is in the resurgence. If I pull them from there and from, say, here. How many over 21s have we got? 359. And yeah, like Expansion City is kind of getting in on the action as well. So I think what we'll do is we've got more population here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get you out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from there. And then what we'll do is put the rest of them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just fill that block up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll just let that population drop down again. Now we've got 9,000 children. Well, look here. We've got. I thought. Haven't I connected you up yet? I thought you had a connection. Okay. Bit of a fail here. Okay, I need to put in a substation here. If I put it on this side here, I want to check. Let's make sure that is. We got a substation then. What's your loading? 79%. So if I put a substation, oops, not there. Say for argument's sake, I put the substation. Actually, I'm kind of tempted because I'm half thinking about expanding down this way. So thank you again. The auto save. I think what I might do is I'll just put the substation in about here, and we'll put a gravel road in there. And again, this could get quite dense, so I'm gonna. If I hook that there. Oops, cancel that. Maybe put you to there, and then into there. Yeah, that was a bit of an oversight. Petrograd West on that. Of course, we can't build that just yet. The road crew should have picked this up. They're all very eager to get things done. I mean, we're getting more and more workers in here. I just want the rail network to get pushed out a little bit further. Looks like that is actually finished. So does that mean these guys have kind of run out of jobs? Just see. Probably got just. Oh no. Okay. So where are you? You're just building there. So this is still 79%. So we're just right on the cusp of getting that built. Let's get back over and just check that. Make sure we still don't have a problem down here. How's the rail lines? Oh, it looks like the rail line is moving forward a little bit quicker now. And this guy's up to here. I mean, they are going a very long way. What I do need to do is come back and check my getting lost on my own map. Now got our rail line set up. Now I have got a distribution office here with a lot of trucks sat in here. So what I need is we can use this truck. I need you to what are you picking up? You're only picking up, so we're going to pick you there, and you're going to deliver to there. You're going to unload prefabs. I need that. And see what the. Okay, we're just going to set the limit. Pick out all the uranium. We don't need wood. We're going to need bricks. We don't need aluminium. So what we need is bricks, prefabs, and steel, isn't it? These guys have got fuel and electrical components. Oh, you can't deliver electrical components here anyway, so I'm going to reduce that down a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is put on a... Just make sure we don't get an overlap. Yeah, you're just picking up boards. We're not... We may need to deliver boards. Yeah, because we got bridges to build. I think most of my rail bridges are girder. They don't think they actually use boards, so it's mainly bricks and panels that we need. Back to here, you're going to pick up bricks and deliver them to here. You're going to pick up bricks from there and deliver to there. Now the problem's going to be steel, because we're going to really need to get the steel, because at the moment you're bringing steel up to here. What we may need is a dedicated delivery line here. Now electro components, who's delivering electro components? You are. I think what we're going to do is we're going to deliver the electro components directly to there. We need the electro components up here. And we'll probably set this to 90%, but we'll need to check, take a look at here. Well, if I take all these out, how much... I mean, this office is going to build a lot of track, so we're going to need to just get this done. So the only thing I really want in here is electro components. I mean completely empty. Get rid of the alcohol. I mean, that's not bad. 31 tons. I think if we can keep 31 tons in here, that would be. So the problem is steel. I'm kind of... You are picking up the steel from here. I think what we are going to do is... It could be a problem, but... I think we're going to rename this into... Do I know what it is? Gravelton rail materials. Make sure that I've got this set up properly. Okay. Yeah, Gravelton rail materials. Okay. I think what we're going to do is get a couple more open holes in here. And again, this is all going to be predominantly long distance, so I think we're just going to drop a couple more in there. I know that at the moment they're doing nothing, but I'd rather have too many rather than not enough, because it's going to take a little while to get this set up, and this will probably be the focus of this part. The other thing we're also going to need to do is get some workers over here, and I think in the short term, when we got loads of workers there, got more than enough workers here. I think ideally what I probably need to do is put another bus stop in about here. So if I say, for example, I mean, okay, we just had another fire. How many workers in here? I mean, we'll probably get to a couple of hundred. Let me just take a look, because if we got lots of yeah, you can see this is 180 max. So what we're looking at, I think a small bus stop, say, get it just in this corner here. I mean, it's a little bit far away, but I think if I can put it, say, in just about there. Eventually we'll bring some residencies this way, and we can put some footpaths in here, and then what the population will do is move this way. But I think in the short term, I'm going to buy what we got here. Let's have a look. We got bus-wise. I mean, again, this is more of a kind of a temporary kind of get-going type route at the moment. Buses. I don't think I really want to use minibuses. I want something that's going to be a bit more substantial. 45. This has got more passengers and it's faster. 100 kilometers an hour. That's 70. That's got a lot of passengers, but it's very slow. This is that 82 or 62. I can't see. It's difficult to tell because the guy's kind of hand is in the way. 45. I think even if that's 62, that's 75. This is 45 at 100 kilometers an hour. This is, I think we're going to get a couple of those, and we're actually going to set a proper route up, and we're going to pick up from, I think for the moment I'm going to pick up from here, and of course they're going to have to kind of go round in a circle, which is slightly annoying. For you, Winchester rail drop like that. Fix that view, and then where are you? Okay, launch them, and you're just going to load residences. So once Gravelton is built, we will take this line out. And then got here, right, we got a school here. Wow. I think that's, now I'm not too worried about this, because what you'll find is that we've got a lot of uneducated people in this area, so it's going to take a little while to kind of educate them up, but my instinct is to try and get some accommodation in this side. Right, actually no, let's just allocate you to Expansion City, Winchester Road Construction, just to keep this up, because that will be in range of, will you? Let's just have a look. No. Okay. So a little bit of a problem here with respect to, I think what we might need to do is put another bus stop in here as a kind of counterpoint to this area here. We got a bus stop there, we got a bus stop over here. Yeah, I think if I put a bus stop in here, just saying just about here. Actually no, it's just getting a bit closer. Let's put you there. I'll try and design the town in a little bit. You can come out that side, and actually you probably could do with a little bit more in the way of connections. So if we do that, you kind of just sneak out like that. Hopefully these bus routes will get picked up by things. I think what we will do is we're just going to shove you on, because this is technically a low priority job. Actually, picked up the wrong one. I know you're a long way from home, but I think you've got the time to send up vehicles up to here to get this built. Because what I would like is the construction officers in this area, I would like to concentrate on Gravelton here. Let me just see. Let me see what's going on. What type of work have you? Wait, you've got no work. What on earth are you doing? Bit of a fail there. Okay, no connections. Okay, you need to put the footpath connections in. I've been a bit negligent up here actually with respect to Gravelton. I think I've kind of taken my eye off the ball a little bit here. I was so focused on Petrograd. Those should all get picked up by the road crews. What have we got here? We've got technical services. This is... I can get Gravelton main construction on that. Let's have a quick look round and see what's going on. We've got a fire station here. We've got power in here now, 14%. That's good. I don't really want to bring another bus over from Winchester to do things. Anyway, I think I'm just aware time is running on with this video, so I'm just going to have a quick run round. And this farm's picked up completely. That's put 2,440 into there. We've got surpluses here. We've still got a lot of crops flowing in here. Why are these guys not doing anything? Because they're not still growing. This is icky. We're in October. I think we've got a bit of a problem here. Possibly with have a look at the farm. I think what I'm going to need is some... Yeah, there's a bit of a failure here. I think what I'm going to need is some extra tractors in here. Maybe put an extra tractor in. Actually, I think what the problem is that these fields were built afterwards. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off the auto search. Actually, take this off. Right. These guys aren't doing anything at the moment, so let me just get in here. Take these off. It's going to be a little bit risky. And what I'm going to do is reallocate the fields manually. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, nope, cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. Right, I think if I now put on the auto search, what I've done is I've reallocated the fields, because I think what happened was because these fields were laid out first, the tractors were going to here first rather than doing these. What I've actually done is, because I've done redone the order, you see we've got some fields here that says they're still growing here. And I think what will happen next cycle is the tractors will work outwards in a kind of spiral. And I think that's probably the best way to do it. I want to make sure harvested doesn't say it's allocated. Let me just allocate these. Just go round at the outside. Make sure they're all allocated. I mean, you can do this because if you just want to make sure you're allocated. You're allocated. You're allocated. Yep. Make sure. Oops, no. You're not allocated. I think that out a little bit. What that should do is give a bit more of an even balance between the two types of fields, so that these trucks aren't kind of sat around here. See, so these fields are now finishing, but truthfully these fields should have been sown at the very beginning in July, so that they could have been harvested fastest along with these. You see it says harvesting in progress. Yeah, I think I messed that up a little bit because I shouldn't have. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. I mean, we've got nearly 2,000 tons in here. We're probably going to lose a fair amount from here, whether I like it or not. But what I should be able to do is, because we got the trucks in here, what I should be able to do is get some stuff in there. Anyway, it's a lesson learned. That's all there is to it. Yeah, can you put that out, please? And let me just take a look at this. Probably haven't got any workers in here yet. We've got no steel. Steel's going to be the issue. I think we might get our first, this might be our first delivery of steel. Yep. We've got electronics, which is being delivered quite quickly. So we've got electronics, we've got steel, we just need some workers in. But this will be the focus of the next video. I don't want to get into it too much. We've got another 250 workers. Well, yeah, we've got 600 odd workers in here. I'll make sure that is in range. It's just about, look at that. So we may have to start thinking about another shop over here. This is being built. I'll move the over 21s off camera, guys, because I think you're all familiar with that process. Overall, we've done quite well, and I think just one thing I want to look at before we leave is up here. Yeah, we got, this is getting very close as well. So what I'm going to need to do is a bit of work in this area, and of course one thing we need to do now is start planning our new city over here, but I'm going to have to do some terraforming, try and get this in. I've got to have a good look at this off camera so that we can get things, but this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.